Yeah,
Every time I think about like struggling under weights, I'm like,
resetting in.
oh, dude, yeah, you just start dying. Like I'm back to dying now. I'm done. I'm done kind of trying to strengthen and proliferate life, and I'm gonna just die now.
Did it. I asked my wife to hide the PlayStation.
Dude, I've done the same thing.
You have?
Yeah, she bought me one for Father's Day, and I was like, no. And I've told her when we got together, I was like, don't allow me to have an Xbox because I won't be able. I can't stop playing it by myself.
Wow.
I did the same exact thing, and then a couple times I've been like, let's get one in here, and she's like, you told me not to let you, and I was like, fuck, you're right. And then she really bought me one for Father's Day, and I looked at it, and I was like, take it back.
That's a funny gift for Father's Day.
I know.
Because it's like you're not going to be seeing your kids as much.
I know. She was like, we can put it in your office. I was like, no.
No, you don't understand.
That'd be the death. I'd be done.
Waiting for you.
Yeah, man. That's all I see when I close my eyes. If I play video games, I lay down and I just see the video game until I fall asleep.
Oh, that's the weirdest thing,
It's
isn't it?
crazy. And
Your
I'm like,
brain's just echoing the fucking video game.
just like, do it again, do it again. I can't stop playing them. I'll stay up all night.
Same.
It's bad.
And then you start.
Something just occurs in my brain. It's the weirdest process. It's like, because if I sit down and try to like write out it never works. I have to literally just wait and just trust, like, I'm going to get a cool idea. That'll turn into a joke.
Okay, here's
That's
why.
all I do. And I just pray. I go, please give me a cool joke, dude.
Please, God. Please,
give me
God.
a cool joke. Because there's been a couple times where I've sat down. And same thing. It's not like a funny joke, but it'll lead to an idea where I'll think about it later. I'm like, oh, yeah, I could probably do this.
Right.
But what I do is I wait until before shows and I panic mode and I go, fuck, and I got to come up with something.
That's the best time.
Yeah, but I got to start. My problem is when I sit down to write and I start just writing stand-up, it's like I could write something else. I could like, I'd rather write like a story.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's much more rewarding, but I have to be disciplined and start trying to write jokes. It's so bad. I don't prioritize stand-up at all. Like I do it a lot. I just wait till I have shows. I do the new material shows a lot. I like that. That's the way. That's like my best way to write is just wait, force myself to do 10 brand new minutes.
Yeah.
And then just bomb if it sucks. And then it's like after I'll get a hard bomb, I'm like, all right, then I'll get motivated. The approach or bouncing is a big thing. If you bounce somebody out of the club, that's like if you can get a girl to leave the location, that's a bounce. Which sounds kind of dastardly, but like if you can get her to physically leave that location.
Oh my!
I remember seeing it on VH1, the pickup artist show. It'd be like, we bounced them. So if you can like convince her, like, hey, let's go somewhere else, that's like a huge step one.
Okay. Did you get that? Did you get the DARE program? Do you remember
we had
that?
Officer Friendly came and would like show us crack pipes and all this stuff.
Oh my God! You had that happen?
Yeah, my brother claims that they explained weed when he was in school, and he was like, I'm definitely gonna smoke that. They were like, this will mess you up, and they explained the effects. He goes, that sounds fucking nice. I'm definitely gonna do that.
That's LSD for me.
You heard about it in school, and you're like, that's actually kind of chill. We had this guy from Pico, which was like the electrical company, and he would just hook like toys and various things up to high voltage and blow them across the room. Be like, electricity's dangerous. We would send like a He-Man flying across our auditorium. We'd be like, ah. So like the Officer Friendly would be there. I'm like, dude, I want the Pico man to be here so bad. I want him to blow shit up. Dude, I don't know. He made it look cool. He made electricity. He would wear these like grounding boots and be on a rubber mat. He's like, if I don't have this on, I'll die. He was the man.
How close do you think growing up, like how many times do you think you are like on the precipice of death doing dumb shit?
Probably a couple times, honestly.
Like what?
Almost dying. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of like a specific near-death instance. I mean, we would just like black out and drive drunk when I was like, we were little. We didn't have our licenses yet. We would just like take my uncle's van. He had like a 50 or 12-seater van.
Would he let you take it? Do you know?
No.
Oh,
They would be
steal his
asleep. Me
van.
and my cousin would sneak out and drink like 15 beers and just gun that van up and down the road like as fast as we could.
How old were you?
15.
Okay,
yeah, it was right before driver's license.
Oh my God.
Like my uncle stayed over and left his car the one time, and like he went somewhere, and I was like, "Yo, let's go." And we were like kids. We just drove around in his car, pulled up, and like got a drink at Wawa. And we're like, "Oh my God, this is crazy." We're like 14. We're like, "This is crazy."
Best.
Yeah. I was at like a little Catholic school of like 23 kids in my class. It was pretty chill, but it was fun. People were very bad, and I had an older brother, so like the teachers would just single me out the first day and be like, I'm gonna keep my eye on you. So I'd be like, all right, we're fucking enemies. And then it was just me. It was me and my cousin and my one friend I grew up with since like first grade. And they would separate us. It was like in the very beginning, we'd be sitting together and they would just separate us. And then it was just like, I threw stuff the whole time I was in school.
Spitballs or like
spitballs, erasers, like breaking up crowns and throwing them, and just anything. Taking like one of the technology advanced, and you could put like the rubber band between the pen and start like shooting arrows. It was crazy. Paper wasps, everything.
What's a paper wasp?
Paper wasp, when you fold a piece of paper up so that it's really hard, and then you take a rubber band, you just fling it. Dude, it hurts. It's like a real weapon. It hurts. It's hard, dude. When I always tell my kids when I have to work, I'm like, 'cause they get bummed when I have to leave for work. They're always like,
Same.
don't go. And I'm like, look, I need to get money for you guys. You guys need stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then when we moved, they took all of the stuff out of our house a week before. My kids were like, yeah. And I was like, fuck.
Oh,
I was like, all right, this is just for me. But guys, you'll be all right. You'll be fine.
Oh, dude, it's so...
It was so funny. They're like, we don't have stuff. This is awesome. And I was like,
Fuck, they don't need stuff.
Although Disney Plus, I hold that over their heads. I'm like, dude, Disney Plus is going to turn off if I don't go to work. And they're like, just get out there, man.
Go, Dad.
I convinced my kids to help me weed, and they love it. I go out front and I weed my garden, and they're like popping them up, and they're like, oh, they could do it for hours. They love it so much. And my dad spazzes. He like loves trees. He has all these trees he planted. If you walk by his tree and pop a leaf off, he's like, what are you doing? Get off my trees. So my kids do it. I'm like, no. Even if we're like out here, I'm like, whoa, take it easy on that. Let me pick it up. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Come on. That's how I mowed the lawn. I was like, dude, let me mow the lawn, please. My dad was like, all right, man. I was like, yes.
Oh.
Then I did it for like a month, and I was like, this fucking sucks.
Sucks.
No, I do kind of stock water up. That's the one thing I don't want to get caught without water. So I'll get like, I just have like a water service deliver 5-gallon jugs, and I'll do like a couple heavy orders. So I have like at least like 40 gallons of water. And that's the one thing I do prep up. I am putting in raised garden beds too in my backyard to grow like potatoes and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, potatoes and water. You could do it.
Potatoes is fucking Irish.
Yeah, dude.
You're so
I love
Irish.
potatoes so much, dude. I love potatoes so much.
Yeah.
I can eat them every day, and I'm like, yes. Tricks. I read a book recently by this guy, Charles Colson. He was like Nixon's one of his top political aides. The stuff they would do is like there'd be a guy running, against him or whatever, and they would just make shit up. They'd be like, we're going to run a story that he's like an angry drunk, and it would just go through the news, and it would just, dude, it would like completely destabilize the other guy running, and they did all kinds of shit. Now they could easily, if you have 5 billionaires that are like behind this one guy, you can tank the stock market. You can just be like, fuck it.
I know.
Let's tank the stock market for a couple of days. That way it's like it looks bad on them. We can come in and save it.
Right.
We've had a like apocalypse hanging over our head the whole time. It's been the, Middle East problems. We've had like some terrifying threat the entire time we've been alive. Honestly, too, there's like World War II was real. That was for real, that was insane how bad that was. So it's like we might need to bear witness again to like every 50 years to just like a total calamity.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, let's chill.
Let's chill out.
Let's go back to church. Let's fucking chill. Yeah, it is like, so if you're a Buddhist, you're trying to, become enlightened, or that's like the goal. If you take it like nirvana, enlightenment, blah, blah, blah. Christianity, it's like learning how to practice unconditional love. So that would be the end goal. Whereas you try to get enlightened, you would try to genuinely practice unconditional love. I understand the hang up, but it's also like there has to be an aspect of your rationality that gets sacrificed so that you can kind of access what I would think would be deeper levels of reality and like kind of contentment and peace. Right. It's like you don't have to literally, I mean, you can, it's just being able to suspend that cynical part of your brain to like kind of read into it over a period of time. I think that kind of like, it like leads to, there's like, think of it as like a little pearl inside of an oyster. But there's like this weird process that you're going to have to suspend your normal workings of your mind. And that freaks people out. Because that's them. And they're like, as far as they are, like, this is the way I view things. Okay. But if you can like suspend that for a little bit and kind of venture in,
Pisses people off.
It freaks them out. Dude, I was literally reading about the death instinct last night, and the guy was talking about how, so it's like there's like the inorganic material of the universe. It's just like the stuff in the universe. It's somehow formed into life, and then life is dying to get back to that state of inorganic material.
Right.
So it's like if that inorganic material has the intelligence to somehow form life, and that life is trying to get back to that inorganic material, maybe that being that inorganic material is actually sweet.
I mean, yeah, it must be that fucking blue planet.
I'm gonna fuck the moon up, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It just gets that's the religious question. Like, is there a larger intelligence in the universe than human intelligence? And
what do you think?
I think so, definitely. Just in order to make stuff, it's like so just chance. The idea that just chance made all this stuff, I'm like, can't buy it. And your physical, the cells in your body respond to one version over the other. If you're telling yourself like it's all fake, it's all bullshit and meaningless, it hurts your body. So
you get shriveled up.
You get shriveled up. It's bad for it's literally bad for your health. People don't believe this. If you look into it, there's studies about this. If you have a religious worldview, people on average, you can even look this up, they live 7 years longer. So it's like that's a weird thing because if you're a pure materialist and you're like the answers in material reality. It's like the answer to that is that there's this gigantic, just infinite mass in the universe that somehow came together to create the experience of life, and that we are still at an infinite mass, and we should realize that and be like, dude, let's enjoy this. This is a wild experience. Never be like, I'm hating it. It's like, yeah, enjoy that. Dude, the weird thing that happened to me during COVID was like, I didn't realize how in my head I was about other people. Like, I would go out to the grocery store and I would like see a person and be like, look at this kind of fucking person. I would like just judge him in my head and be like, fucking motherfucker. And I'd see a lady, especially when the mask came on, it became this very like us versus them kind of thing. I'm like, damn, the lady has a mask on. She fucking hates me.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And I just kind of brought this thing that I did anyway without all that stuff. I'd be like, I would just see people and either be like, better than that person, fuck that guy kind of rules. But then I would try to break them down in my mind, like he's probably a fucking loser. And I didn't even realize I was doing this.
Right.
And it would just create so much pressure in me. And then during COVID at one point, I just stopped. I was just like, I'm done. I'm not out here doing this subconscious battle with people about like how am I perceiving myself among them? What do they represent? What do I blah blah blah. I just gave up doing that, dude. And it relaxes you so much. Be like, it's unbelievable. I can go through a grocery store and just have general good wishes towards everybody. I'm like, I feel, dude, it's like for real. I've looked into a lot of different stuff in terms of like practices, meditations, blah, blah, blah. And that's the thing with meditation. A lot of people do it and they're like, I want to learn how to meditate so I can crush business meetings. And it's like, dude, it's there to erase your ego, man. It's not, like, which again, I'm not saying like, don't do it. If you want to relax, relax. But it is there. It's there to like sever some sort of line that feels deeply important that if you can let go of it, you can start to relax.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not there. I mean, it is there. It can aid you. I'm not saying there's like you can use it for whatever you want. I'm not saying like you must use it for this, but there's a huge part of it where it's like, it's there to, erase, in my opinion, if you want to do it and like really gain some sort of transformation, I think it's really there to like clean slate, not be like, yeah, dude, you need to crush this business. Yeah, I researched Hinduism for whatever reason during the pandemic, and I was fully a Hindu for like 2 months after that. I was like, they fully got me. I was like, fuck, it's so cool. It's the thing that I was under when I was like, if you read Glenn Lowry I love him, man. He did an autobiography and he talks a lot about like maintaining his position as the master of the universe and how his life would just completely fall apart every single time. Yeah. But yeah, there's just something nice about being like, all right, like, I can tap into something that like centers me because I was like an anxious fucking like train wreck forever. Like you don't even like realize it when you're younger. And then like, once you have kids, if I catch myself slipping back into that state, I'm like, dude, I can't raise my kids and be like decentered all the time. And it's just like, I have to center myself.
Right.
So like whatever helps you do that is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to fight the battle of like, there's a lot of Mr. Rights on the internet. Yeah. It's better just being right, being like, all right, whatever, do your thing. And then if it turns out you're right, you can just quietly be like, no, letting go of the need to be right dude, it's helped me so much, especially Jesus Christ in my marriage.
Dude, you're so wrong.
Yeah. I'm like, what? What did you say? Excuse me?